Good morning and thanks so much for watching. You know, it's always fun for us to bring 3+U your way because you never know quite what's going on in the Tennessee Valley, and we're a great resource for you. Often we're helping you plan ahead, but we're kicking off the show this morning with something that you want to clear your calendar for tonight to come and be a part of. This is Captain Greg Wooldridge. He is the longest serving boss, am I saying that correctly?
That's correct, Julie.
For the Blue Angels, 3 different times.
I had three times. They gave me a third chance to get it right. So.
Somehow I don't think that's quite right, but that's very humble of you. But we're lucky to have you here because our IMAX theater has begun to show this 45-minute The Blue Angels film made just for IMAX. Yeah. And you have chosen to come our way from your home in Oregon to speak to us tonight.
Well, having the opportunity to work on the film as an executive producer with some really high caliber folks in Hollywood, way out of my arena. I've never been in movie stuff before, but getting to work on it with them, and they filmed me and put me in, and I said, don't put me in that movie. Mm-hmm. But even with the IMAX version, the institution version that's here now at the IMAX theater with the Aquarium, it's incredible. But I got a little scene in there too. But it's been a great opportunity. I love the Navy. I love what the Blue Angels do, and that's why I'm so anxious and enthusiastic about being able to promote.
So we're going to try to pack a punch in the time that I have with you, because sadly we don't have 45 minutes, but you can if you get your tickets tonight. The film is going to continue to play through February, but this is our one chance to come and hear from him. So the plan tonight is the film will play. You will then do a Q&A with the audience. I bet that there are going to be a lot of young guys especially in there, but girls too possibly.
Absolutely.
Who think, gosh, I want to know what it's like to be a Navy pilot. You took a commission right out of college.
Right.
And this is your original helmet.
Helmet, it is. I am so excited about being here to get an opportunity to do this. So at 5:30 I'll actually be there if anybody wants to get my
autograph
name on a piece of paper. You know, we got some beautiful posters available. So I'll get to do that, and you started to talk about how I got into this. I got a commission as I left college. Got a commission because I wanted to fly airplanes, and then it was a long period, about 18 years, until I got selected to lead the Blues. The leader is always selected from somebody who has already led. The wingmen have about 8 or 9 years of service because we have a prerequisite number of flight hours, and it takes a while to accrue those. That's how it's made up, it's comprised, and goes forward.
Is there always a set number of pilots?
Yes, and there are only 6 of us that fly in the formation. There's no reserves.
Okay.
If one gets sick, then we knew how to fly a 5-plane show. We could do that. So,
okay, so you are a tight team. It is just your team.
Absolutely. There's 6 pilots, there's 10 other officers, and there's about 120 finest young men and women in the Navy Marine Corps that support us. So we borrow the airplanes from them for 45 minutes and fly.
So let's talk a little bit about how you set up the show, if you will, that you do. Because you've been to Chattanooga before.
I have.
For our air shows back in the 90s. Yeah. So you were telling me that this is somewhat of a democratic plan. When you were the boss, you were part leader, part teammate.
Right. I get to talk about that. I do keynote speeches, and I get to really broadcast the fact that the way the Blue Angels operated was so unique. Corporations embrace it now. It's where the leader is more equal to the other folks in the team and the company, if you will, and vulnerability is important, and there's no fear in being vulnerable. So it's more democratic. We listen to everybody. Everybody is expected to say something and has the privilege of saying whatever is on their mind, whatever they've done. They can talk about their own mistakes. It makes us so much better.
You know, that's an interesting, I don't know how much of that is revealed in the film, but I used to be a big lover of biographies. When I was growing up, I liked to read them because even though I was never going to have my life parallel that person's, it would still give me a life lesson to take away that I could apply in my own life. Sure. That's kind of what you're saying here.
Absolutely. The things that I got to experience have brought me to this level where I see the incredible value of the way the Blue Angels did business. We take that and metaphorically apply it to anything in life.
Right.
Where everybody in the household has part of the decision making. Where are we going to go on vacation, right? What are our goals on vacation? And what's central to us when we take that trip?
Well, nobody watching probably is going to parallel your life. So let's kind of get up in the air with you for a minute, okay? So
Sure.
the 6 of you take off.
Yes.
And you're in your formation and you begin to do all the miraculous things that you do. What's the most difficult maneuver?
Oh my goodness. Well, I would say if you'll get to see it in the movie tonight, that's terrific. Some of the very, very close formations are probably the hardest thing. We start out, when we come from the fleet, we start out at about 10 feet apart. And through 6 weeks, or rather, sorry, 10 weeks of flying 6 days a week, twice a day, we can move it into 3 feet. We start a season of flying 30 to 35 air shows every weekend, a different place, about 3 feet apart. But we actually start moving it in, and the next level would be 18 inches apart. And then it gets down to 12 inches apart.
So eventually you're a foot apart.
That's
flying.
right, going 400 miles an hour with the 22-ton jet.
For how long? How long do you keep that?
The maneuvers are about, I would say, a minute to a minute and a half when we're in front of the crowd. So we want to have this beautiful look flying in front of the crowd across our center point, which is where people look.
So then in looking at your helmet, the aerodynamics of this helmet are pretty specific.
Yeah. Well, they fit inside the canopy, right? So it's rounded and it's form fitted to your head. They do molds. So yes, it's important to have it fitted properly, and it's a lighter weight because when you're under 7 Gs, 7 forces of gravity, you don't want anything heavy on your head because your whole body now is weighted down.
I know you've got a busy itinerary. I wish I could hog you the whole day, but thank you for coming to Chattanooga.
My pleasure, Julie.
I know you're going to have a large crowd. This is happening at the IMAX Theater, and there are only about 30 tickets or so left. So if you want to be a part of this event tonight, you heard him mention he'll begin signing autographs around 5:30.
Right.
Watch the film, then have a chance for the Q&A. tnaqua.org is your site to go to get those tickets. Welcome to Chattanooga.
I'm so excited because it's in 3D. I've never seen it in 3D. It's going to be like you are there. You're living it. So enjoy it.
Begin your exciting career in broadcasting today. Visit the Tennessee Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair for opportunities in the broadcast industry and positions here at Local 3. Apply online now at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
I love to work. I've done it my whole life. I've been hurt and now I can't work. What do I do?
Every week the feds took money out of my pay